There's a specific kind of quiet that doesn't feel empty. Nothing excites you, but nothing repels you either. Nothing feels wrong. Nothing feels urgent. Nothing feels heavy. And nothing feels compelling. You wake up and move through the day without resistance, but also without pull. No strong yes. No clear no. No internal gravity, drawing you in any direction. It's not numbness. It's not sadness. It's not disengagement. It's the absence of a signal. Nothing is calling you forward. And that absence is harder to explain than pain ever was. When nothing pulls you, the mind looks for explanations, and it usually finds the wrong ones. Apathy, laziness, loss of ambition, burnout. Something must be off. Because in a world built on motivation, not wanting anything looks like a malfunction. But the body isn't shut down. You're not exhausted. You're not avoiding life. You're responsive. You're present. You're just not being pulled. The system isn't empty. It's unoriented. And those two states look identical from the outside. Most movement in life doesn't come from desire. It comes from pressure, deadlines, expectations, fear of falling behind, external demands. Impulse is reactive. It answers something. Desire is different. Desire isn't a reaction. It's an orientation, a quiet pull, a sense of direction that doesn't need urgency. When there's pressure, you respond. When there's desire, you move. But when there's nothing, the system doesn't know what to do. So anxiety appears. Not loud, not dramatic, quiet, diffuse, background, because you're trained to be oriented by force, by deadlines, by expectations, by problems to solve. When none of those are present, the absence itself feels suspicious, as if you're missing a cue, as if something should be happening, but there's nothing to respond to, and the body doesn't know how to rest inside that. This is where people start experimenting, trying things, making decisions, picking directions, not because they feel drawn, but because they want to feel something. Any pull, any signal, any reason to move. They test paths. They create goals. They manufacture urgency, just to escape the discomfort of not wanting anything. But these movements don't come from desire, they come from discomfort, from the need to eliminate the absence of attraction. And that's why they rarely stick, because they answer the anxiety, not the orientation. This isn't disinterest. You still care. This isn't fatigue. You still have energy. This isn't incapacity. You're still capable. This is what it feels like when nothing is calling you yet. No internal magnetism. No external pressure. Just space. Unassigned. Unclaimed. The absence of desire doesn't mean desire is gone. It means it hasn't chosen a direction. We rarely talk about this state because it doesn't fit the usual narratives. You're not struggling. You're not healing. You're not chasing anything. So there's no story to tell. But internally, there's a question hovering. Why don't I want something? Why doesn't anything excite me? Why am I not pulled toward anything? The assumption is that desire should always be present, that something should always be calling you. But that assumption is the source of the pressure. Losing desire feels like grief. This doesn't. This feels neutral, open, unassigned. You haven't lost something. There's just nothing here yet. No attraction, no pull, no direction. And that absence gets mislabeled as a problem, when it's actually a condition, a temporary lack of orientation, not a defect. The body isn't resisting. It isn't pushing. It isn't leaning forward. It's waiting. Not consciously, not deliberately, just not being pulled. You move through days without friction, but also without momentum. This isn't collapse. It's suspension between impulses, between desires, between calls. We're taught that lack of desire means something is wrong, that you should want more, that you should be aiming somewhere, that you should be hungry. So when hunger disappears, even temporarily, it feels unnatural, like something to fix. But hunger isn't the only state a system can be in. Sometimes it's digesting. Sometimes it's reorganizing. Sometimes it's waiting for the next signal to become available. Nothing is pulling you forward. And that doesn't mean you've lost ambition. It means there's no direction yet. No internal request. No external call. Nothing asking for your energy. Nothing asking for commitment. Nothing asking for movement. The discomfort comes from expecting a call that hasn't arrived. Nothing is pulling you forward. Not because something is wrong, not because something is missing, but because nothing is calling you yet. This isn't emptiness. It's an interval, a space, without attraction, without pressure, without demand,